Welcome back to RV News, your trusted source for the latest updates, alerts, and in-depth coverage on all things related to currency revaluations, especially the Iraqi Dinar, IQD, and Vietnamese Dong, VND. If you're holding on to these currencies, or following the global economic shifts that could lead to major financial changes, then you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a single update. We bring you real-time developments, verified intel, and key bank movements you need to know to stay ahead of this historic shift. Today's update is absolutely massive, and if you're a currency holder, especially IQD or VND, then you'll want to pay very close attention. The June 14th exchange window that many insiders have been waiting for has finally gone live, and not just at any institutions, but at two of the biggest names in American banking, Chase Bank and Wells Fargo. That's right, exchanges are now being quietly but actively conducted, and this could signal the very beginning of the long-awaited RV process. This is not a drill. Multiple credible sources, both within the banking infrastructure and from redemption center contacts, have confirmed that as of June 14th, both Chase and Wells Fargo have started accepting currency holders for exchange appointments, specifically for the Iraqi Dinar and the Vietnamese Dong. These aren't just regular foreign currency transactions either. We're talking about structured appointments, guided exchanges, and in some cases, special rate offerings that suggest the long-anticipated revaluation may indeed be underway in a controlled rollout. What's even more telling is the silence in the mainstream media. While the big news networks are staying quiet, we're getting live reports from clients and internal bank staff who have verified these movements. The reports began to pick up momentum in the early hours of June 14th, with a series of transactions occurring behind closed doors, with high-security protocols in place. Individuals with Tier 4B connections, the general public with special contracts or knowledge of the RV, were the first to be contacted. Many received notifications, emails, or even phone calls from their banking representatives informing them that their profiles had been approved, that their documents were verified, and that they could now schedule their exchange appointments. This wasn't random. It followed weeks of account setup, Know Your Customer, KYC, compliance checks, and the setting up of specialized foreign currency exchange departments within selected Chase and Wells Fargo locations across the United States. These selected branches are not operating under their normal rules. We're hearing that certain locations have been designated as Tier 1 or Tier 2 exchange centers. These are fully staffed, trained, and operating under the supervision of private banking officers who are equipped to handle high-value exchanges and confidential appointments. The fact that this infrastructure is now activated is a powerful indication that the global financial system is preparing to shift into a new valuation standard for select currencies, primarily the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong, which have long been suppressed in the global marketplace due to outdated IMF and geopolitical sanctions. Let's talk about Chase Bank first. Chase has been relatively silent on the matter of foreign currency exchanges in the past, often redirecting customers to third-party services or stating they don't deal with exotic currencies. However, that's now changed. Over the past 72 hours, internal memos have been circulating among private banking clients at Chase, specifically mentioning new procedures for international currency revaluation. Several high-net-worth clients have come forward confirming that their banking officers at Chase have not only acknowledged the RV, but also scheduled appointments for the exchange of IQD and VND. In some cases, they've been asked to sign non-disclosure agreements before proceeding. The existence of these NDAs suggests that something significant is happening, something that banks do not want publicly disclosed before the process is complete. Now let's move over to Wells Fargo. Historically, Wells Fargo has been one of the most closely linked institutions to the RV process. Many in the RV community have speculated for years that Wells Fargo would play a central role in managing the redemption of Dinar and Dong. And it appears those predictions were right. As of June 14th, multiple redemption centers connected to Wells Fargo have gone live. These are operating outside of typical banking hours and are utilizing special appointment-only scheduling. Some clients have been provided with digital QR codes, private access numbers, and exchange instruction kits. These kits contain detailed instructions about the process, documents required, rate options available, and even post-exchange financial planning opportunities. Let's talk about the rates being offered. While the official rates have not been posted publicly, some early reports suggest that contract rates significantly higher than market rates are being honored for select holders. One source mentioned an IQD exchange rate north of $3.50 USD per dinar, while another claimed that the VND was being exchanged at a special contract rate between 0.47 and 0.85, depending on the individual's profile, holding size, and the tier of their exchange appointment. Again, none of this is confirmed by official bank press releases, but we're receiving enough consistent reporting from across the country to conclude that a real, live, and structured exchange process is now occurring. So what does this mean for you, the everyday holder of IQD or VND, who hasn't yet been contacted or scheduled for an exchange? It means you're next in line. It means the infrastructure is in place, the procedures are live, and the banks are moving forward in a controlled, tiered rollout. You need to be ready. That means having your currency authenticated and sorted, having your government-issued ID and proof of currency purchase, and having a basic plan for your funds. It's highly recommended to have a trust or financial advisor involved before you step into the exchange room, especially if you are exchanging large quantities. The banks are not just looking to complete a simple swap. They are evaluating profiles, checking compliance, and in many cases, offering structured payout options over time. There is also a growing belief among the RV community that this June 14 rollout may be part of a soft launch leading up to a full public RV announcement in the coming days or weeks. A soft launch would allow the banks to manage the process without overwhelming the system or creating public panic. It would also allow them to test their internal procedures, build up reports for global regulatory compliance, and resolve any technology or security challenges before the mass public becomes involved. Based on what we're seeing, it seems this theory holds weight. The tight-lipped nature of the process, the appointment-based structure, and the use of NDAs all suggest a carefully managed global operation is underway. Now is not the time to panic or make emotional decisions. Now is the time to stay informed, stay grounded, and prepare. If you haven't already done so, call your local Chase or Wells Fargo branch and ask if they are handling foreign currency exchanges. Don't mention revaluation directly, as many employees are still under strict communication restrictions. Ask for their private client department, or better yet, speak with a wealth advisor. These departments are more likely to have the intel and authority to guide you through the process. Be professional, respectful, and patient. This process is unfolding, but it is doing so in a controlled manner, and the better prepared you are, the smoother your experience will be. Another important point to consider is that digital infrastructure is now being leveraged heavily in this process. Certain exchange appointments are being managed through secure portals and platforms, some of which are designed specifically for Tier 4B redemptions. If you are part of a group or have previously registered your intent to exchange with a specific platform or organization, be on the lookout for emails or text confirmations. These will include encrypted links, appointment times, and in some cases, even transport instructions. The level of organization we're seeing here is unprecedented and further reinforces that this is not a rumor or theory. It is happening. Of course, the revaluation of any national currency is a geopolitical act, and the timing of this June 14th exchange rollout may not be accidental. Recent developments out of Iraq, including economic stabilization reforms, oil trade recalibrations, and new digital banking laws all suggest that the country is prepared to have its currency internationally recognized at a fair market value. Similarly, Vietnam has strengthened its trade balance and international reserves, giving added credibility to the idea that the dong is positioned for a significant upward adjustment. Add to that the de-dollarization trend sweeping across BRICS and other allied nations, and you begin to see how the pieces are fitting together. Let's also not ignore the role of the U.S. Treasury and international monetary entities. There are strong indicators that this exchange event is being coordinated in concert with global financial regulators. Quiet coordination is occurring behind the scenes to support a smooth transition. The dollar will still play a role, but we are moving toward a multipolar currency environment where suppressed currencies like the dinar,